I want to talk to you about this conservatorship, this whole thing about Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae. And I thought, hey, before we start, because I think it is a hot topic, is the first question is who is Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and what do they do?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a history lesson on that. Fannie Mae is Federal National Mortgage Association. Freddie Mac is the Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation. Now, these today are considered quasi-federal agencies, but they were both created quite a long time ago. Fannie Mae, in fact, that agency was created in 1938 by the Roosevelt administration. And the reason Fannie Mae was created was to add more liquidity to the mortgage market during that period. You might also recall, or maybe you don't know, FHA was actually created in 1934. And FHA, the purpose of FHA was to insure lenders against default in order to induce lenders at that time to offer mortgage loan financing on more favorable terms. Because back in those days, before the creation of FHA, if you wanted to buy a house and get a loan, you had to provide a very big down payment, typically 50% of the value of the property, and the term of the loan was relatively short, maybe 5 years. And those are pretty onerous terms for many people in the country at that time to be able to finance the purchase. So FHA was created to induce a lender to extend the loan term out to as much as 30 years and allow a much lower down payment, with the guarantee that if the borrower defaulted, which is more likely because of less down payment, that the lender could file a claim with FHA and get reimbursed for their foreclosure loss. Then in 1938, Fannie Mae was created. And the purpose of Fannie Mae, which is unusual compared to what they do today, was to buy FHA, VA, and USDA loans from lenders, and then that would allow lenders with the proceeds to make more FHA, VA, and USDA loans. So that's where it added more liquidity to the market. And then what happened was in 1968, the federal government created the Government National Mortgage Association, also known as Ginnie Mae. And what that did is it split up Fannie Mae into it split it in two, basically. Ginnie Mae would at that point, they guarantee the FHA, VA, and USDA loans for the benefit of the lenders, and they would accumulate these loans and pool them to create mortgage-backed securities to sell in the financial markets. And again, those proceeds allowed lenders more liquidity to make more of the government-insured or guaranteed loans. Fannie Mae then in '68, having been split off from that part of their initial mission, then going forward from 1968, buys non-government insured or guaranteed mortgages, aka conventional loans, and that's what Fannie Mae's been doing since 1968, is buying conventional loans, non-insured or guaranteed federal type loans. Freddie Mac was created in 1970, so it's a relatively younger agency, again created by government charter. And Freddie Mac was created, frankly, solely for the purpose of creating more competition on the conventional loan side to compete with Fannie Mae. So that way you would have two quasi-federal agencies both buying conventional loans from lenders, again, with the mission to create more liquidity. And of course, by having that competition, that helped in terms of what kind of rates could be offered for those type of loans. So that's where Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, how they originated and how they've established what they do today.